Everyone wants to improve customer loyalty, right? But how do we measure it so that when compared with our peers, we know where we stand? And how do we react quickly to feedback? And do we know who our detractors are? So the question you just asked and more occupied the minds of Bain and Company a few years back, who also found that many of the surveys they looked at inspired analysis over action. In other words, it's not about what you know, it's what you do with what you know. And the first thing they did was to seek out which survey questions had the strongest correlation with a repeat purchase. They examined thousands of surveys and found that just one question could accomplish this. And that was, would you recommend us to a friend or colleague? Steve Jobs was famous for saying that Apple never asked for customer feedback. This is not true for Apple retail stores. When Ron Johnson was tasked with creating the great Apple retail store experience, he wanted to convert the local PC user using word of mouth and referral. And NPS was perfect for that. And they used email at point of sale to manage the score, so having a robust email capability was important to them too. So at a glance, they can see performance of stores, whether it's going up or down, and react accordingly. Their NPS works so well that they're also looking to add Net Promoter People, where the question is, would you recommend this as a place to work? This is what the survey typically looks like. It's an 11-point scale from 0 to 10. And 0 was chosen over 1, since the number 1 can represent pole position for some. The next thing they decided to do was to group how this question was answered into 3 distinct categories. The first group, known as detractors, marks the answer from 0 to 6. These guys don't like you. The next group answered with a 7 or 8 and are known as passives, and they have no energy for your company. The final group really do like you and marked an answer with a 9 or 10. These guys will recommend you and are most likely to repeat purchase. This is where all your good profits are. Then a score is calculated by subtracting the percentage of detractors from the percentage of promoters. Passives are discarded, but only for the purposes of the score calculation. They also recommended that a text question be added so that context can be derived from the measurement with sentiment analysis. So now we have a score that can measure customer loyalty. It's called the Net Promoter Score, or NPS for short. It's a number we can trust because it's an external measure and it's a number used by our peers too. Every year, Bain and Company publish a survey of scores so you can see how you measure up. For example, here are some scores for firms across a number of industries. Top firms like Apple, Amazon, and Costco score on the high 70s. That's the number to beat. With our platform, NPS is a standard question type right out of the box. So we do all the calculations for you. And we can roll the numbers up, so by store, region, product line, so you can see performance at a glance. Detractors. So these guys do not like you. This is where all your bad profits are. They're bad profits because they're not repeatable. And it's very important to be able to identify this group and deal with them right away. Our app will send an email, sorry for your experience, right away. And also to the store manager, please deal with this right now. Reacting quickly to a problem can often turn your detractors around. You can create different email messages based on each answer given too. Passives are in between and have no energy for your company. Most likely they got what they paid for, but are also likely to defect when a competitor appears with a similar offer. Knowing who this group are and sending them the right communications at the appropriate moment will be important. Sending the wrong message to the wrong group is a schoolboy mistake you will avoid with our app. So promoters are more likely to repeat buy and are less sensitive to price. Companies like Enterprise, Rent-A-Car actively use promoters in their marketing referral programs, and they credit NPS with the success of that. All your good profits are here because they are repeatable profits. Thousands of companies like Lego, Facebook, Dell, and Apple use NPS. 1 million people walk into an Apple retail store every day, and they use NPS. NPS can be a counter to TripAdvisor in that if someone leaves negative feedback about your property on TripAdvisor, you have little control over it. If they leave negative feedback about your property using feedback you control, you can deal with it right away. Dell use our e-marketing platform to manage NPS in 17 languages around the world. They really like the idea that one survey can be deployed in so many languages with all the results rolled up into one. Bain & Company also did a survey with Dell where they were able to place a specific dollar value on each customer. Using NPS, they were able to see the actual cost of detractors, some $68 million in that study. So being able to deal with detractors right away can save money very quickly. They also saw that 1 million customers came from promoters. So the referral programming really works with NPS.